Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.
Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. With me, as always, inventor of the infomercial, original shark on the hit TV show Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington. Kevin, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, Seth. Pleasure to be here. I'm excited to have some fun today with our guest, Josh. Let's hear all about it.
That's right. We're here today with Josh DeShong from Trelly.com. Find, analyze, buy, and sell off-market investment properties for free. Josh, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. It's great to be here.
So let's go back in time a little bit. How did Trelly get started?
Yeah, so I started my career actually as a real estate agent, helping people buy and sell homes, and grew to one of the top 10 agents with Keller Williams in the world. Was on the Wall Street Journal best real estate agents list, and I was really good at helping people broker real estate. Soon after, I started flipping properties, similar to you see on Flip This House, and then I started selling off my excess inventory. So we were going out and buying properties and contracting homes, but sometimes we would kind of top grade our inventory before we actually got to the closing table, and we would sell the contracts off to other investors. Over the years, that just became our core business, and other real estate investors started coming to us and saying, hey, can you sell our deals? So we built Trelly, which is a marketplace for these in real estate investors to put their excess inventory and wholesalers to put their inventory on. It allows for more efficiency. So yeah, that's kind of how we got started.
Fantastic. So now, what year was that, Josh?
Yeah, so I got started back in 2006 in the real estate space, but we started launching Trelly in 2019. We started wholesaling off most of our inventory back in 2017, but in 2019, we decided, hey, we want to build a marketplace for investors to play. We don't necessarily want to be the bottleneck. We want to give other people to have the venue, so to speak.
So, yeah, because I was wondering, was it pre-COVID, which it was. So did COVID have any pluses or minuses for what you were doing when that kicked into gear?
Yeah. So, I would say COVID definitely had some pluses in terms of, seeing how fast we were on our feet. But I would say the big thing is, inventory is hard to find. So investors are looking everywhere. So user acquisition costs started to fall because of COVID. Things got a little bit more efficient, and our suppliers on our network are making more money than ever before because there isn't any inventory out there. I was talking to a buddy of mine in Austin yesterday, and he said that there's 1,300 houses in the entire market, the entire Austin MSA available for sale right now. And that's down north of 50%. I mean, that's incredible. So,
wow.
Absolutely. So if Trelly lets me find, analyze, buy, and sell off-market investment properties for free, how are you guys making money?
So we're not taking any revenue yet. We have what's called first-party inventory, and that's inventory that we go out and find through various means. We're placing that on the platform, and we're making money just like all the users who are using the Trelly platform. But Trelly itself is not monetizing anything in the transaction today. our goal is really to build the network, and we're seeing that network start to grow exponentially in our core markets, and we're starting to roll out additional new markets as well.
Are you allowed to share any type of numbers in terms of how many users are on the platform, volume of deals getting done?
Yeah. So I checked yesterday, and we're doing north of 30 million a month worth of properties being added to the platform. And that's up substantially from even 6 months ago. We're starting to kind of see this exponential increase, and it's really just about, rolling out to the rest of the country.
So I'm wondering, are you in the process of raising capital? Because investors, your business model is interesting. You're getting mass distribution, much like when Facebook first started. I've had conversations with not Mark Zuckerberg, but Randy, his sister, and they were saying, they're sitting there talking to Peter Thiel, and Peter's like, you have no income, but you got 1 million users. He's like, look, I'm going to take it to 10 million users, show you that I can do that, and give me 5 million to do that, and boom, 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 and then we're going to start monetization. So, it's always, as an investor, I like to see cash flow, but there's a timing issue here. So what are you running into anything interesting in that vein, talking to investors?
Awesome question. So we are completely bootstrapped. We have not raised any outside capital. We're definitely open to raising capital, but I mentioned earlier our first party supply, and that's the stuff that we actually go out and put on the network ourselves. That is keeping us afloat, and it's allowing us to reinvest. So really, this is great, because the more successful we build the Trelli marketplace, the more successful it is for our own business, and the more successful it is for our other supplier seller users on the platform as well. So we're putting our money where our mouth is by relying on our platform's own success to show, hey, you can make more money on using the Trelli platform than you can using Facebook. Like, I don't know if you guys know that real estate investors do thousands of transactions a year on Facebook, actually 100,000 transactions a year on Facebook just from connecting. There's not really a platform for investors to make these transactions.
And then how are you acquiring users?
Yeah, great. So we're doing a ton of digital advertising. We're doing phenomenal podcasts like this. I'm going out doing the road show, trying to let everybody know. We're doing in-market events, but really, it's pretty easy to target would-be investors. There's over 20 million real estate investors, residential real estate investors in the United States currently. So it's kind of like if you throw a rock, you'll hit a real estate investor.
With all the success that you're having, what's your biggest challenge now?
Great question. I would say our biggest challenge is identifying and understanding the different types of users. The investor base is very broad. You have people from all ages, all walks of life that are starting to invest in real estate. We've got team members here who own multiple rental properties, and they just turned 21, right? So that's a weird thing. That's like a new phenomenon. So we're trying to understand the different users and how do we maximize the value we're bringing to each one of those subset of users. That's really the biggest struggle, because the user base is just so broad.
Yeah. One question, you mentioned Facebook and things that they're doing all this deals on Facebook. Is there any direct competitor to Trelli, somebody that is very similar in what they're doing?
So there's other companies that compete with parts of our business. For example, Sunday Homes. Sunday Homes has raised $135 million. They've done an amazing job at raising money. And they're competing with, I would say, our first party strategy, where we're acquiring the properties and putting them on the platform. And there's other marketplaces like auction.com. Auction.com is, it's a legendary company. It's been around for a while. They're fighting for our bidders, our buyers' eyeballs, are the investors who are buying on our platform. They're also looking at auction.com. So, but I don't believe in I don't think this is a zero-sum game. I think that, a rising tide is going to end up lifting all ships. Real estate investing is just becoming mainstream. It's not even mainstream yet, but it's becoming more and more acceptable. People are starting to learn about it. 10 years ago, I've been in the space since 2006. So, when I got into the space, no one knew anything about real estate investing, and real estate investors kept their mouths shut as far as how it worked. And the only way that you could learn about this stuff was by calling the late night infomercial guy and saying, hey, like, sign me up. Teach me how to get rich quick without using any of my own money,
There you go. That's funny.
You might have some connection to some of those.
Yeah.
Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
That's a great question. And genuinely, I like to see people win. So, in a perfect world, thousands of operators are going to build businesses through our platforms, and they're going to change their lives. And hopefully they're going to change the lives of other people around them. And that's what's kind of gotten me to where I'm at. That's what's given me the opportunities I've taken. And that's what drives me. At the end of the day, the money comes, which is why it's also like, I don't really care if we monetize the network. It's about building value. If we build enough value, we've got a slew of horizontal opportunities that we can integrate over the course of the next 18 months if necessary. But if we build value, that's what matters first.
Josh, back in the early 80s, a long time ago, when I was a young entrepreneur, I was a business broker. So I had a real estate license, a broker's license. We sold pizza parlors, delicatessens, flower shops, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I'm getting back into that business now with a group that is one of the largest business brokerage companies in the United States. I'm tying in with them now, and I'm going to be back in the business of selling businesses. Is there an opportunity here for a platform for businesses too, or are you just focused on real, kind of like residential real estate?
So I think the same concept could exist from a business standpoint, but I think the wholesale real estate model has been around for about 20 years. It's just started to get to where people are generally familiar with how it operates. Business brokering, I think it's probably a very similar type of a business, but I just don't know anything about it. And right now, our goal is just to be hyper focused on one asset class. There's over 100,000 people in the United States that operate as what's known as a real estate wholesaler. And these people don't even flip property. They just go find the properties. Like, have you ever seen those yellow signs on the side of the road, Kevin?
Of course.
They say, we buy houses, right?
Sure. Yeah. We buy ugly houses and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. So most of those people are purely going to sign a contract with the homeowner, and then they're going to sell it off to another investor. There's over 100,000 people in the United States that do that as a practice.
Right.
So the industry has finally gotten to a place that would support a two-sided marketplace. And I don't know anything about the business brokering business, but I imagine the economics, the idea, and the process would be relatively similar. All it is an assignment of interest, right?
Yeah, I mean, it works very similar in that you get a listing as when you're an agent, that you get a listing to sell a business, and then it gets presented. But that brings me to the question: when you guys put real estate on Trelly, are these aren't properties that are listed on an MLS? Correct. These are properties that you've got a direct relationship with. So this, right?
Yep. Either we do or the wholesaler on our platform. So we're not the only seller on the platform, right?
Right.
So the other wholesalers will have a direct relationship with the homeowner. The properties are not on the market at all.
Yeah. Thank you.
I like that you kind of did it as if, hey, we need this for ourselves. It will help us move our inventory, and the bigger the network, the better the network effect, the more inventory we'll be able to move. And if that benefits everybody else too, we're okay with that. I like the rising tide lifts all boats business model. Are you allowed to give us a sneak peek at other forms of monetization that might or might not be coming in the next year or two?
So I can tell you,
because I got a list already of, I'm sure you've thought of them.
Yeah. So I can tell you we've got some interesting plays on the way that we want to offer debt services. So investors use debt. They need to borrow money. They need money fast. So we've got some interesting spends on that. And then services, right? Everything from property management to construction services. We're focused on the early adopters and the long tail with what we're developing. So we've got plans for things that will make investing in real estate easier, whether you're remote, whether you're local. We want to simplify that process for everyone in the United States.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of different ways, I'm sure, that you could think of to play and monetize the list you're building, which is where, hey, the selling the properties is a bonus. Technically, you could be considered a data company, and that data of who those people are and those investors are is incredibly valuable.
Right. Now, we don't sell any data. We actually don't have as much interest in that at this point, but that's definitely something we're open to. You know, our again, like I said, we're just using value as our guide. Where can we bring the most value to our users? And we're intensely getting feedback from them and saying, you know, how can we adjust? What problems are you running into? What friction are you seeing? And using that as kind of our guiding light, that's influencing our 12 and 18-month roadmap. So we're going slow and steady, but we're trying to be thoughtful, very thoughtful, you know, every step we take.
Very cool. There.
All right. Well, we greatly appreciate your time. We know it's incredibly valuable. Anything else you want to share that we haven't thought to ask you yet?
You know, I think that's it, guys. It's been great. Trelli is the distressed real estate marketplace for real estate investors and wholesalers, and we'd love to earn everybody's business who's listening that's in the investment space. So feel free to reach out to me directly, josh@trelly.com.
All right. This has been Seth Greene and Kevin Harrington for Sharkpreneur with Josh DeShong of Trelly.com. Josh, thanks again for joining us.
Hey, thank you guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks, Josh. Good seeing you.
Everybody for watching or listening. We'll talk to you or see you next time.
Do you need money to fund your idea, product, or service? Are you ready to take your business to the next level, but need capital to get it done? Kevin Harrington has heard more than 50,000 pitches and knows how to help you make the perfect pitch to get the funding for your entrepreneurial dream. He's distilled the process down in his perfect pitch cheat sheet, and it's yours for free. Just text PITCH to him right now at 727-888-2100. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 right now and claim your free perfect pitch cheat sheet. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 to start funding your dream today.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.